A story begins as golden pages unfold, drawing us gently into the timeless magic of a distant kingdom. Beyond the turning pages, a quiet forest awakens, whispering pines, and far away, the silhouette of a royal castle promises the beginning of our tale. Night descends, stars shimmer, and northern lights curl above the silent towers, guarding untold stories. Within the high chamber, the young queen gazes through the window, heart calm yet restless with unspoken dreams. King and queen stroll their blooming garden, every step wrapped in quiet joy and tender promise. The king stands before his loyal steed. The queen lowers her gaze, her hands trembling as the weight of farewell settles. The wind carries a soft sigh through the courtyard, whispering of the long journey that lies ahead. The king says, "Guard our house well, my queen, and keep your heart steadfast." He squeezes her hands to take one last look at her, then mounts his horse and gallops off. Days pass slowly within the silent chambers. The young queen sits by the high window, her gaze lost beyond the horizon, longing for her king's safe return. The soft rustle of curtains and the fading daylight echo her quiet solitude. Far beyond the palace walls, the shadow of an ancient forest stirs. Whispers creep through the dark trees. News of the king's absence has reached a wicked witch, and malice begins to take shape beneath the tangled branches. The witch woke up in her lair, surrounded by dim light. Her eyes twinkle slyly as she plots her dark plan against the lonely queen. Night cloaks the palace as the witch creeps closer, silent as the mist. Through shadowed gardens and moonlit walls, her figure glides toward the chamber window. Suddenly, the witch jumps out from behind the door. The queen screams, turns and runs into the garden, her heart pounding with fear. By the water, the witch rushes at the queen, clinging with clawed fingers. The queen resists, fighting the witch as she tries to break free from the sinister grip. With a final tug, the witch drags the queen into a bubbling pond. The moon's reflection ripples, and after a few moments, the water completely absorbs the queen, leaving only a trembling surface. The witch rises from the dark swamp. She raises her hands and mutters a curse, and waves run through the moonlit water. As the ripples fade, the swamp grows eerily still. Then, with a glimmer of silver feathers, a white duck bursts from the water's heart. Gliding across the pond, the queen transformed, her sorrow sealed in the shape of wings. The moon looks down on a lonely bird swimming through a swamp. Her every move carries a weight of longing. Her heart aches for the stolen life. Driven by quiet resolve, the white duck gathers reeds and soft grass. She weaves a fragile nest upon the still water, shaping a home within exile, her wings trembling with hope. Days pass, and gentle life stirs. Beneath the dawn's pale light, tiny ducklings huddle close, their soft chirps weaving warmth into the sorrowed marsh. A white duck dips its beak into the rippling water, scattering crumbs and reeds for its cubs. The kids are rowing enthusiastically, and their tiny sprats shine in the rays of the night moon. A sudden breeze stirs the reeds. The mother spreads her wings wide, drawing her ducklings beneath soft feathers, shielding them from the wind's restless whisper. From the silent marsh, the white duck lifts her gaze to the distant castle. Its towers gleam beneath a fading sun, stirring memories of love and the life she longs to reclaim. Within the royal chambers, the witch murmurs dark words. Shadows coil around her, twisting her shape until the cruel crone dissolves, leaving behind the fair visage of a queen. In the garden, the fake queen welcomes the returning king. Entwined hands, smiles hiding deception, their reunion shines under a serene sky. The king, oblivious to betrayal, looks with joy at the woman he considers his bride. His heart is at peace, and he is unaware of the shadow lurking in her halls. Days pass, and the false queen's mask slips. Her voice rings sharp through marble halls as she scolds her servants, the kindness of the true queen nowhere to be found. Behind velvet curtains, whispers stir. The The servants trade uneasy glances, murmuring of a change the queen they knew would never wield such cruelty. Far from the castle, the white duck glides across the calm marsh, guiding her little ones. With patient strokes, she teaches them to trust the water, her voice soft as a lullaby in the reeds. The nightlight flickers in the reeds as a white duck glides, urging her ducklings forward. One tiny chick drowns and she quickly lifts it back to safety. Calling softly, she gathers them closer, and they row together again, bolder than before. Night drapes its velvet cloak over the marsh. Beneath a silver moon, the white duck lifts her voice in a soft, yearning song. The melody drifts across still waters, weaving memories of her lost crown, her stolen home. The ducklings huddle close, wide-eyed, listening as though the stars themselves lean down to hear. In the darkness of the night, ducklings cuddle up to their mother on a grassy bank. She wraps her wings around them, warming their tiny hearts, whispering quiet promises of hope. The ducklings look at each other calmly, and courage wakes up in their fluffy breasts. With determination, they leave the swamp and head to a distant castle to ask the king to help their mother. Ripples trail their small bodies as the castle looms higher. At the great gates, the ducklings pause, hearts thudding, before the iron doors creak open and invite them inside. A frightened servant blinks at the ducklings in the royal hall, and yet they stumble on, fearless, as if guided by fate. Through glittering corridors and sunlit arches, the ducklings search, calling faintly for the king. Each step carries their mother's hope, echoing through the silent palace. The king pauses, astonished by the tiny visitors. Warmth fills his heart as he kneels, gently lifting one fluffy duckling into his hand, marveling at its courage. Discovering the loss of her young, the white duck bursts from the reeds, wings beating in frantic rhythm. Across the marsh she races toward the distant castle, fear and hope driving every stride. Inside the marble hall, the king studies the ducklings with tender confusion. Their tiny beaks chatter as if trying to speak. Though he cannot grasp their meaning, a stirring in his heart whispers of truth beyond words. He rises, determined to follow wherever these small, persistent creatures might lead, sensing fate at work within the palace walls. In the garden, king and ducklings meet the white duck. As he speaks an ancient word of blessing, light swirls around her form. Feathers dissolve into silken robes. The children stand revealed, and the true queen returns. Joy floods the royal garden as the king clasps his queen and children close. Tears glisten, and disbelief melts into wonder at their long-awaited reunion. Elsewhere in the palace, the false queen stiffens. Realization dawns, her deceit lies exposed. Rage flashes in her eyes, the shadow of justice creeps ever closer. The servants surround the trembling imposter. Panic flashes in her eyes, but it's too late to run. People grab her by the shoulders. The servants grab the witch, and her true identity has been revealed. She rushes about, stamping her foot, desperately trying to summon the fading magic. A sickly green mist envelops her struggling figure. With a hiss, the steam absorbs it entirely, leaving only empty air. Peace returns to the royal garden. The king and true queen walk hand in hand, their children skipping beside them, laughter mingling with the rustle of leaves beneath a gentle Sunday. High above, a white duck glides across the sky, a quiet emblem of the magic that guarded love and truth. The ancient book folds shut. Its whisper reminds us, deceit will fade, but love and faith endure, shining brighter than any spell.